Hello everyone, welcome to another X-Wing video. We've now had wave number 11 announced. Wave 11. Damn, that's a lot of X-Wing ships. I mean, it doesn't feel like that long ago that I was amazed that we're introducing a third faction or like wave 4 coming out. But we'll not beat around the bush too much. So we have the... This is going to be awesome. The Auzituck Gunship, so a Wookiee gunship as I'm going to call it from now on. And this guy comes in at 24 points for the base level 1 pilot. It has 3 attack, 1 agility, 6 hull and 3 shields with 2 crew slots. And it has a focus action and then the reinforce action. So yet more epic actions coming into standard play. This bad boy is also toting the auxiliary firing arc. You can see the rules reference card along with the dotted line. So it's got a 180 degree arc of fire on a small base ship, which seems pretty cool to be honest. Lots of funky stuff we'll be able to try out with that, especially considering how you can catch people out with a large base YV666 with this arc. Having it on a small base ship should be really interesting, especially with the reinforce. When people try and get behind you, just reinforce the rear please, you know, keep shooting me, I don't mind. I have a trillion hit points and I'm ignoring 1 hit guaranteed every time. The only move we know about would be the 3 bank right. We would assume that it has the 3 bank left is also white. So I would assume that we go up to at speed 4 on this guy. I'd be surprised if it caps out at a speed 3, but we will see. It looks pretty nice. It looks kind of cool. Reminds me a lot of the Mist Hunter, just with that cockpit and shape, that Hind style cockpit. Looks pretty funky, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it adds to a Rebels, to be honest. It's going to compete obviously with B-Wings for the just tanky damage dealer, but having those double crew slots makes it really versatile on a small base, so it's competing with the U-Wing to be the Rebels shuttle. That auxiliary firing arc makes it even more interesting. The reinforce action, all of this stuff combines to be a really interesting package, and I'm definitely looking forward to trying to get on the table. We go through the other cards that we see. It looks like there is a pilot skill 7, 5 and a 3, with the 7 and 5 being uniques. No idea on the abilities. I can see what is probably a when and something, and then a when and range, but that's about it. For the upgrade cards, it looks like we have a hull upgrade, an intimidate, a tactician, and then 3 new cards. A selflessness is what I'm going to guess at. I mean, it could be self... no, it's going to be selflessness. Yeah, selflessness. When at range, attack this uncancelled instead. So when at range, attack. I guess that you can jump in front of people's bullets. I don't know. That's a pretty selfless Wookiee act to do. No idea what that other one is. Probably another specialist of some form. Then we have the Wookiee Commandos, which I can actually read, and that is when attacking you may reroll your eyeball results. So 1 point takes up both your crew and means that you get some form of reliability on offense. I definitely think it's only going to be useful on this ship because you're probably going to want to reinforce a lot, and then it gives you rerolls of your eyeballs. So not the best, but in fact I'm just going to come out and say it's probably a bit bad. I'm going to be, you know, balls to a wall here and say that I don't really see Wookiee Commandos seeing much play. 25 points for a PS1 ship with Wookiee Commandos. I would, assuming that the next one up, the PS3 one, is 25 points, I would rather take that. I would take the pilot skill bid over this crew. So that's just me. I've been known to be bad at X-Wing, so don't necessarily take my word as gospel. Then we have a really interesting pack. We have the Scurrg H-6 bomber. This guy is looking like a bit of a beast of a model for the small base ship. We have Zim in both Rebel and Scum and Villainy format, so that's going to be interesting. If you count the number of cards there are 5 pilot cards and 6 inserts, so I really want to know what's on the other side of the red base. Is it just a double Zim? I don't know. That'll be interesting, because one of them is going to be a weird combination that's going to throw my organizational system right off. Then we have the all of those cards along the top. So there is the Talon Roll, which is shown on the card for the Scum dial. I think it's a nice touch that they actually do have both dials in the pack. I mean, maybe needless, but it's a nice touch. It would have been interesting to see what other cardboard they could have put in instead, but I'm not going to complain too much. It's got the 3 Talon Roll and the 4 forwards. Then we've got some bombs in there, and that's pretty good because it has bomb slots. We're looking at, for a pilot skill 1 guy, 24 points again, 3 attack, 1 agility, 5 hull, and 5 shields. This guy is a beast of a tank. 10 hit points is basically the Scum shuttle now on a small base. It has what looks to be a turret slot, a torpedo slot, a illicit slot, and a crew slot, and double bomb slots. Then it has the focus, target lock, and barrel roll actions, and as we mentioned, 24 points. So for that package, I feel like that's pretty good value, to be honest. A lot of hit points to chew through there. Looking at the other cards, Bill would hold it against me for a very long time if I didn't point out that we have Cad Bane as a crew card. Well, what I'm assuming is a crew card. We have the Havoc title, which I did spoil, and that is that your upgrade slots, you gain the systems and the salvaged astromech slot, but you'll lose the crew slot, and you are only allowed to take unique salvaged astromechs if you do this. It costs 0, so getting the system slot is pretty good. We do have a system card in there. Looks like it has something to do with bombs anyway, because there's a bomb icon on the card. Then I believe that's the seismic torpedoes. What appears to be a cruise missile as a new missile slot. Oh, there we go. So that would be a missile, not an illicit slot. I'm just stupid. Then we have an R4 something mech, which will be the salvaged astromech you can take if you take the Havoc. Then we have synced turret, which we will get to later, and something else that I can't read. Why? And some other bomb. So these new bomb tokens will probably go with the new bomb. It is a unique, so you can only have one of them. So that's relatively interesting. The fact that it comes with 2 is also interesting. I'm not really sure how that's going to work, because normally these bombs are removed as you place them, and you can only drop 1 bomb a turn by the standard rules. So unless these are some form of mine rather than bomb, I don't know why it's showing 2 of them. So that's going to be really interesting. What else can we see? Not too much, to be honest. Again, Zim being both Rebel and Scum in the same pack is a really nice way of doing it. Really like it. We've got 2 generics and 2 uniques, and then 1 Rebel unique of the same one. This guy, I'm really looking forward to seeing if it can introduce a Scum type bombing faction. You also get the chance to take it in the Rebels with Sabine being a thing, so I'm going to gamble my entire X-Wing reputation and say, yeah, this will probably work in a Rebel bomb list. I don't feel like that's much of a gamble. I am being facetious. Then we have everybody's almost favourite TIE, isn't a Defender or a Phantom, the TIE Aggressor. People have been crying for this one for almost as long as they have the Starwing attack gunboat thing. Starwing assault gunboat. Come on, Chris, I know what it's called. I used to fly them in X-Wing vs TIE Fighter myself. But this one is the Imperial turret carrier. So the Imperials now have access to twin laser turrets. Ironically, it comes with a twin laser turret. So we can now take some Sinar Specialists, because I'm going to jump right ahead now. You can take Sinar Specialists with TLTs and lightweight frame and do the Imperial Quad TLT list of doom. X-Wing is over as a game. The sky is most definitely falling. What were they thinking? And it's about time Imperials got Quad TLTs. That's what every faction needs. So we have the Sinar Specialist with Pilot Skill 2. It has 2 attacks, 2 agility, 4 hull, 1 shield. It costs 17 points. It has the turret upgrade, a double missile slots, and a focus action, a barrel roll, and a target lock. So it's pretty rounded. 5 hit points total. Behind 2 agility is old X-Wing levels of ruggedness, or I suppose current Curax fighter levels of ruggedness. 17 points is a good level for that defensive package to come in at, especially when you consider the attack of 2 isn't really going to come into play. We go through, we have the PS5 Onyx Squadron pilot, something or other, probably, so it doesn't confuse with the Defender, but maybe just Onyx Squadron. He'll be the other generic. Then we've got 2 uniques, one at Pilot Skill 4, one at Pilot Skill 7. Can't see any upgrades on those bars, but I would assume the 7 probably has an EPT. That would be my guess anyway. Then we have a 2 bank shown on the dial, so it probably flies like a TIE fighter of some form. You know, it's probably closer to a bomber than the Interceptor, but hey ho, we can but hope. TLT on an Interceptor dial would be awesome. We have a dual-sided EPT, which is intensity exhausted, so we don't actually know what the good side does. But at the end of the combat phase, you may spend 1 focus or evade token to flip this card. So, yeah, you can flip it back to a good side, which we don't know what it does, which is a real shame. But I'm going to go through and we will look at what is hopefully the synchronized turret first. Yes, prior planning does indeed prevent piss poor performance. The synchronized turret is 4 points. It is a range 1 to 2 turret with 3 attack dice. You may attack 1 ship requiring a target lock. I should have specified. Yes, you need to target lock for this to work. Attack 1 ship, even a ship outside your firing arc. If the defender is inside your primary firing arc, you may reroll a number of attack die up to your primary weapon value. So you need to have the defender target locked to be able to fire. If they are in your arc, you can re-roll, in this instance, up to 2 dice whilst maintaining your target lock. If you need to reroll all 3 or they are outside of your arc, you'll still need to spend it. But 4 points seems pretty good. K-Wings could get value out of it, I suppose. I think range 1 to 2, would I use it on a K-Wing? Maybe not. I could see value on a BTL'd Y-Wing, that would be interesting. Getting the rerolls all the time. Which way around does the Y-Wing work? It's primary first, isn't it? So yeah, that probably wouldn't be the best. It's interesting. Synchronized turret, 4 points. I do like it, but I'm not 100% sold. This one is the one that I think is a little bit better. It is range 1 to 3 for the unguided rockets with 3 attack dice. Only costs 2 points. And this one reads, attack focus, attack 1 ship. Your attack die can be modified only by spending a focus token for its standard effect. So if you think about it in the mindset of, I'm probably going to take a focus action anyway, if they shoot, so you, as a generic, obviously generics aren't really seen in the game that much, but as a buff to generics, you get a 3 dice attack that isn't affected by range modifiers, and you can now fire it, spend your focus token as normal, but sensor jammers doesn't work on you, stuff like that. So seems okay. I don't know exactly how good it will be. Would I take these at 19 points with a 3 dice attack? Then it would basically be a 19-point Qrax fighter or X-Wing. So yeah, it'd be pretty good. Obviously, it doesn't go up to a 4 dice primary at range 1. So swings and roundabouts there. Unguided rockets. It's going to be interesting. As I say, they work on currently K-Wings and bombers and Punishers. Don't think there's anything else with double missile slots. So as well as the aggressor, you have those options. So it's a decent buff to those ships. All of them have 2 attack dice normally. So for 2 points, can't really go wrong. It doesn't run out, so there's nothing really bad to say about it. Yeah, I think that's about it. There are no other cards. So on to overall impressions of the wave. I think this guy is going to be the big winner because you get to play him in 2 factions. This is probably going to be the better ship out of the wave. So if you're only going to buy one thing from this one and aren't a 100% Imperial player, buy this one. Imperial's getting, that's the wrong slide. Imperial's getting access to a TLT carrier is pretty good. I'm contemplating running a hooks with 3 of them and having uncancelable damage from TLTs being fun. On top of that, there's a different variations, like having the access to an ion turret, something as stupid as that could be really interesting, just having that extra little bit of control on a relatively cheap platform. Even with ion, you're looking at 22 points for an aggressor, so I would say that's cheap. A good amount of control. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more play on this upgrade bar, but hey ho, nothing else for it. The Wookiee gunship is more interesting for me at the moment. No real ideas on exactly how I'm going to jump in, but definitely interests me with those 2 crew slots. Crew slot being, in my opinion, one of the most powerful upgrades available in the game, and again, it being on that small base with 2 crew and the reinforce action and that auxiliary arc adds up to a really interesting package that I'm definitely looking forward to fly. But definitely Zim I am going to call as a big winner probably going to break Rebel bomb lists in some way, and it's going to be interesting to see. So thanks for watching, everyone. I'm trying to push on the X-Wing content for the channel, make it a little bit more relevant for you all, so please give me feedback on this if you're enjoying it, what you'd like to see more of, and I need to see where we can take it from here. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. This was the Wave 11 rundown, brought to you by Dice Hate Productions.